Hey everyone, what is going on? It's Colin C back from the Crypto Boys, and I have a special guest for you today. Okay, so I'm going to check our voices and make sure everything is good there. If you guys could let us know in the chat that you guys can hear everything. Ooh, sounds good to me. If you guys want to have any questions for us, let us know. But I think most of you know our special guest today. I was going through YouTube to look up some more Voyager news, and I was like, does any YouTubers out there know more than I do or know something I don't know? I was like, absolutely, because I don't know everything in the freaking world. And I came across Liquid's channel. This dude has been covering Voyager by himself, like via his cell phone, like absolutely killing it. And so I'm like, I got to contact this guy, see what he knows, bring him on the channel, and see if he can just get any other news to our subscribers that maybe we don't know, or maybe even help some of his subscribers out. His channel is in our link in the description. I put it down there. You guys got to go subscribe to this guy. You'll love him. He does a phenomenal job. And Bobby Digital already saying Liquid's the guy. Bobby Digital, I couldn't agree more. IK, what is up, buddy? We miss you, my man. All right, so without further ado, I've got Liquid on the line. He is here. Liquid, are you with me, buddy? Let's see here. Liquid, can you hear me, my man? Let me see if I can.
Hey there.
Liquid, I got you. Are you good?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I was muted, but sounds good. Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
All right, my man. So, all right, Liquid doesn't show his face on the internet, which is way smarter than the Crypto Boys. Is that right, Liquid?
Yeah, definitely don't. There's a lot of crazy people out there. Definitely don't. But I like what you guys are doing. I wish I could do that. It's awesome.
No, I absolutely appreciate you. So, Will, we appreciate you being with us. Emery, thanks for being here. Jason says, Liquid, what is up? Man, you got some followers, Liquid. You got some people that like you.
I wish it was under better circumstances with the whole Voyager nonsense, but hopefully we can get through this.
Absolutely. We will, my man. So let's just start from the basics real quick, because I don't know all that much about you either. How did you get into crypto? When did you start into crypto?
So I want to say 2011, I read an article about Bitcoin. And I think it was, I don't even know what the price was, maybe under $1. And I read an article. It was a terrible article. It basically made me like, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to mess with this. I'm going to get hacked. It was the worst article you could absolutely read about crypto. So I stayed away from like another year. And in 2012, I think Bitcoin was like $3. I finally got involved. I started mining Litecoin. And that was how I started, basically setting up a PC and mining Litecoin.
You started in 2012? Is that hear that right?
Yeah, 2012, I set up my miners and I started actually mining Litecoin and started getting involved with the whole space.
And you're still going at it to this day? Like, you're still buying stuff? You're still obviously believing in the space, clearly?
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you. I had not bought Bitcoin since like 2012. It's just way overpriced for me now. But I'm an altcoin guy. I'm strictly altcoins. But yeah, dude, I'm boom and bust 100 times over. I'm still here.
Oh my gosh, that is like, I'm like talking to like crypto royalty right now. I got in like a year and a half ago, and everybody else got in. I mean, that's when I got in, my man. I mean, that's unbelievable to me.
Yeah, definitely. Like since like I said, it was almost 2011, but 2012 was when I really started mining Litecoin. I want to say Litecoin was 5 cents when I started mining it, and I was making maybe like 40 coins a day. You know, at 5 cents, that's nothing. But imagine down the road, that thing would go to $400 down the road.
Absolutely.
But who knew back then? Yeah.
That is insane. Well, Liquid, I want to get at least involve you with the comments. I don't know if you have them up on your end, but Jason says, I like Liquid, although I am voting yes. I'm sorry, but I have a lot of respect for him. So I'm assuming you want some people to vote no, so you must have some BGX. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. So like I always tell everybody, I'm not going to tell them to vote yes or no. Even if they screw me over and I get 26 cents, I'm in VGX under a penny, so that's 26 times my money anyway. But I'm just trying to get I'm hoping we can reject this plan and maybe squeak some more money out of the deal. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. But yeah, I'm definitely a VGX holder from back in the day.
You know, so here's a question I got for you that me and my brother, who I bring on, who's a lawyer, been really helping me out with some of the legalese stuff, is that What is going on with the VGX? Because it still was saying when we were reading it that you're getting 72% back, but it's basically 72% of such a diluted share that it doesn't really matter anymore. Or can you explain that to us? Because we've done a poor job of figuring that out.
Well, it's not really your fault. It's just so confusing. And the problem is, I'll explain it to you, and then tomorrow they update the plan again. But so far, what I got right now is it looks like, I don't know the exact number, but let's just say 23 cents. They want to pay us the July 5th price of VGX, so it's 23 cents.
Yes.
And that's all they want to pay. They're not going to do like the other ones where it's a 20-day rolling average because they said there's no more utility. But they're the ones that created no more utility by doing this sale. And I guess they're going to give 10 million, whatever the estate holds in VGX. Like say Voyager has 200 million tokens that they own. I guess they only want to give 10 million consideration. So that looks like what's going on right now. Tomorrow it could be different. Every day they update the disclosure statement. So
yeah, that's insane. Free, we appreciate you being here. He says, "Sup from Orlando." Free, I'll be with you on Sunday. We're heading down to Disney on Sunday. So that's really interesting. Nice. Liquid. Are you in any? Do you have anything else kind of in Voyager, or is it mainly just VGX?
So like I said, I was so cheap when I got in. I think it was 2019 December, and I bought a ton of VGX. I'm telling you guys, when it goes up, I dump. So I sold a ton when it was $6-7, but I always held enough to maintain that navigator status. So you can kind of guess how many I have. But I have my other altcoins. I have a lot of coins in there that I wasn't able to buy on certain exchanges, and I'm kind of stuck there because I wasn't able to withdraw. So I have about 3 other coins on the platform right now that I couldn't withdraw, so I kind of got stuck there.
So another question for you, Liquid. You obviously have a phenomenal idea and background and something that lets you read these documents and have a good idea of what's going on. So what do you think about the 72%? Because I'll be honest, my brother who does bankruptcy courts a fair amount, and just we've been around it, our whole families are lawyers. We've got 5 judges, including my mom, and I've asked them all, and they're like 72% in a bankruptcy. They all laughed. They're like, no way. So like, what do you think about that number?
Well, the number is a little deceiving because if we just went right to chapter 7, we probably get around the same amount of money minus the 51 million that he's paying. So it's a little deceiving. Like he's basically not doing anything for us besides 51 million. You divide that up by everybody. What are you getting? Like an extra 2-3 more percent, whatever it is. So that's the catch. He's not really paying it like everybody thinks he's paying.
Exactly. Well, and on top of that, you're getting that $50 credit. I mean, really, what's that going to do?
That's total BS. Like you said, that $50 credit. But hey, whatever we can get, we'll get. I guess we'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any? So let's say, because you're obviously, I don't want to say that because I don't know. It seems like you may be voting no to this, or have you shared that with your subscribers?
They could kind of figure it out, but I never tell them either way. But yeah, I'm definitely going to vote no. I figure what do I got to lose? Yeah.
Fair enough. We actually are going to vote yes, just because I only have crypto on it, but 100% respect your opinion, and you should absolutely do that. But what is the upside to voting no? Because I'm getting the feeling that Steve and Ehrlich and all them, they just want their bonuses and they don't want to rerun this company. So if you vote no and go to chapter 7, are we just taking 20% off the table? Because they're saying we're going to get more like 50% back, or how do you see that going?
So 99% chance it's probably just going to get approved anyway. Everybody's probably going to vote no. They're going to vote yes. The only thing I'm hoping is if, say we did, by luck, everybody voted no, the plan gets denied. What happens in bankruptcy, and I'm sure you're familiar with this, they could all, everybody gets all crazy and say, hey, listen, we got to try to get this approved. Let's kind of sweeten the deal and make the class 3 get a little bit more money. I'm just trying to squeak out a little more recovery, basically, because in the long run, it's going to get approved most likely.
Yeah, I agree with you, because it seems like even in the documents, and obviously you know this because you've been covering the documents like amazing, is like they're trying to almost sway your opinion to vote yes. Do you get that feeling too?
Oh, definitely. Everything is basically, like you said, you got the UCC. Once the UCC signs off on something, it's kind of like you're kind of like we don't have a voice anymore. And the problem is the UCC represents everybody, but I don't think they represent anybody, in my opinion. But definitely, the documents are definitely going to say we want you to vote yes, and most people that aren't filing the case are going to be happy, like you said, with 72% recovery, because when you hear bankruptcy, you figure zero. That's what most people think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%, or a fifth or 20 less percent. Some crazy low
Exactly.
number.
Exactly. Yep.
John says here, I've got lots to lose and I need my money back. Chapter 7 could drag this on for a very long time and the lawyers could get rich. Voting yes. I agree. I agree 100% with John. And honestly, I don't want to speak for Liquid. I'm not going to, but I'm assuming he agrees too. But he brings up good points as to why he's voting no.
I agree with what the guy just said right there. I agree with that 100%. And I never wanted to get to Chapter 7. If I would want it to be Chapter 7 if right from the get go.
Mm-hmm.
Not now how it is, but I agree with him 100% on that. And I'm not sure if a lot of you guys are familiar with, but they're basically lumping all our crypto together as one. So just for example, say you have a coin on the platform and you paid a penny for it, and that coin goes to $10. Your account's going to say you made, say, $1 million, but it doesn't matter because everything's getting lumped together, and you're not going to ever see that gain.
Nope, and it may not even be in like kind. You could be
exactly. Yeah.
You could be in Bitcoin and you may get some VeChain back. You could be in VeChain, you may get some Bitcoin, or you could get some StormX, some coin you would never buy, never want. Now you got to sell it, get it, figure out this tax stuff, and then go rebuy it.
Exactly. And for me, tax losses this year really do. I made money with the Earn program. But for me, I needed a tax loss last year to deduct the money I made. This year, what am I going to deduct $3,000 for 1,000 years? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally understand. Trust me. Yeah, we run the same thing. We're like, so we're going to lose 12 grand in VeChain probably. We're going to obviously have to bring some back in or whatever. And it's like, so now what I'm supposed to do, just have the tax deduction of 3 grand. Great.
Yep. And I don't know if you guys are not investment advice, exactly what you say too, not investment advice. But if you guys have any coins that you're staking, what I'm doing right now is anytime I get any kind of crypto, I have Tesla as one of my major holdings. And every 3 days I get paid my interest, and I automatically convert them. So I create a tax event because I'm trying to make my cost basis higher to write off some of these losses. If you guys are interested.
That's a very good idea. That's a very good idea to actually do that. So clearly you've been in the game a long time if you know the ins and outs of even that. Because we were going to bring on one of our buddies who's a CPA, and he actually dealt with some people who were into crypto this year. So he has a decent hold on it. But even he said, he's like, I got to call someone else to know exactly what I need to do to make sure I don't mess up their taxes.
Yeah, it's funny. A couple of my buddies, their taxes with crypto, and the lawyer will his CPA will call me up, and I'll be helping him out. And I don't really know nothing with taxes. I basically file my return every year myself, but I've been doing that forever. And I kind of help them out. It's funny. And I'm like, dude, I really don't know, but this is probably how it works. Get a kick out of it.
That's funny. So Brandon says on here, I'm hearing FTX could be adding Cardano and VeChain. I added VeChain, excuse me. He said Cardano, I say VeChain. Yes, because they're trying to get anything really that was on the IP of Voyager that would be easy to move over to FTX. They're saying they want to add it. Liquid, did you see and did you hear that as well?
Yeah, he was doing a couple of tweets. It was related to some like with the securities, if stuff is security or if stuff isn't. And he was basically talking about that, and they were going to start looking at every coin and either adding it to FTX or not, depending what their lawyers said. And I think that's totally related to this whole case because there's 100 some cryptos on the platform. I'm pretty sure that's what this is all about. And hopefully the major coins that everybody that are holding are added. I know they're probably not going to get to every one of them because a lot of them, there's only a few people that have them. There might be one that has 300 people have certain coins. And then the top ones, there might be 50,000 people that hold them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 100% true. And I would think it would just be much easier to do a like-kind distribution versus having to do the cash and then the USDC and all that stuff. One thing I did want to ask you, Liquid, is what did you think, because Joe and I have been harping on this since day one, about the ambiguousness, if that's a word, I don't know, but the ambiguous claims of USDC is kind of backed, but it's just USD. Did you sniff that out from the beginning? You seem like a guy who really is in pretty deep into the copyright stuff and all the rules and all this stuff. Like, do you feel bad for those people? Or are you like, that's a normal crypto, you should have known? Like, that was confusing to us.
I definitely feel bad for anybody that got screwed up with that, but I've always known from the get-go, from the day one, that USD was FDIC insured, and I still, to this day, will argue that it is. That's FDIC insured, but there's no interest or anything. It's just money that's sitting there. Once you move it over to USDC, now you start getting the yield, but now it's not FDIC. And even though USDC is back 1-to-1 for the dollar, if they lend it out, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's always been FDIC for the USD account. And if it wasn't true, I wouldn't be able to withdraw all my USDC. I basically I cashed out like a month before when I seen all this trouble. I was like, you know what? I'm going to not mess with this USDC right now. So if that wasn't the case, my money would be still stuck in there.
Honestly, I did the same thing. I sold just over 20 grand of Cardano the week before all this happened, 10 days before all this happened, and ended up getting it into USD because I was like, I know that's FDIC backed. We better wait and see what happens. But I do understand if someone's brand new and they're just getting into crypto and they're like, oh, USD, USDC, they don't really understand the difference. I can completely understand why they're stuck.
Yeah, and if you guys are, I'll give you guys a little secret. Well, it doesn't matter now because Voyager looks like they're over with. But the last 3-4 months when the market's been terrible, I was a little worried about in general the market. So you could actually go back and forth USDC to USD. I don't know if you guys are familiar. They do a snapshot like all these exchanges. And at a certain time, if your money is in a certain crypto, that's the snapshot and that's your interest for the day. So then you just go right back to USD when it's over with. But, it's over with now, the platform.
Wow, yeah, I had no idea of that, to be honest with you. I had no clue. That's good to know. So does that happen on most platforms, or was that just with Voyager?
I would say most platforms because they have to figure out every day like what everybody's stuff is. So like if you have, I think it's eToro was an example I looked up. That's how I got the idea when I saw eToro. I think it was eToro. They basically said at a certain time at night, everybody's accounts get snapshotted, and then that's how they calculate the interest for the day. So if you go in and out, you're safe. You're only in for a couple minutes and then you get out right away. But, it takes a little effort, though.
For sure. Absolutely. So Jason says here, Liquid, I don't 100% know the answer to this, but I do think it's both because I think one's going to be cash payments. Some are going to be USDC. They're just treating their USDC as 100% crypto. That's what you would get back. But it says here, Jason, I heard they are doing payouts in either USDC or USD. Is that correct?
I think I did hear something like that. To be honest with you, it really doesn't matter either way. Agreed. Because it's going to be the exact because it's 1-to-1. But I'm pretty sure they could do either way.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm reading is that either way, with it being 1-to-1, I don't think it really matters, but it could create an extra step.
FTX once they have your money. I don't even think they segregate the accounts like Voyager did. If you got USDC, you're probably being lent out anyway. I don't think Voyager was legit. Like they didn't mess around. They had the money separated. It was in a custodial account. I think I said that right. Yep. And they didn't mess around. It just they did a stupid loan. That's all they did.
That was it. And I didn't want to hit too much on this, but since I got you on here, I kind of have to. So what did you think about Steven giving out a $650 million non-collateralized loan of obviously not his money?
I was very disappointed because I remember watching numerous videos and he basically stated that they always get collateral and they're very vetted when they do all these kind of deals, and it was just disappointing. I just think he was chasing that yield. He couldn't really find anybody to give him that 9% he needed. And they were basically chasing it, and they just went after a bad player.
Well, and exactly right. And you heard him saying it even with Mark Cuban. So what is it at the time? 2 billionaires getting fooled. So it was like, it was pretty rare to us that would happen because it seemed like it was the easiest. And you've been in longer than me, so I've used 4 platforms now, but Voyager was by far the one we used the most. What did you think as a comparison to all the other platforms you use? Because you've been in crypto now for 10 years. How easy and user-friendly was Voyager?
Oh, it was so beautiful. I loved it, man. Like I said, I've been around this forever, but I could get anybody. I can get a grandmother, a grandfather, a kid. Anybody could get on that phone, and in 5 seconds, they got their account set up and they're buying crypto. You can't do that on any other platform. Back then when it first came out.
Exactly right. And actually, we jumped through those steps, even having to go through Qcoin and all this other stuff, which is much harder. But starting with Voyager, oh my gosh, it made it so much easier. Also, guys, if you guys are here right now, Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and then go over to Liquid's channel and subscribe to his channel because the dude is killing it as well. So Liquid, is there anything that you'd want to say to really even our subscribers, or you just got on your mind about Voyager and the way it's going and when you think it ends? Anything to kind of start summing up this fireside chat that you may want to get off your chest?
The best advice, non-financial, but the best advice and what I'm doing is if they do cash you out, which most likely they will if they don't support your cryptos, is don't stay on the sidelines and don't if they cash you out at these lows, try to get back into what you had your positions, because what's going to happen is you're selling at the low, and then a year from now you're going to be buying back when everything's way high again, because you're probably cashing out your money and putting it in your bank account and you're pissed off, and it's all going to go up one day, hopefully. Not financial advice. And what are you going to do? Buy at the top again?
Yeah, it's extremely true and extremely good advice. That's what we're going to do. We're going to roll it all back up as if this was already gone. What's the point in putting 30% or 70% or whatever it is? Because it's going to be less than that now, obviously, from your initial buy-in, depending on when you got it. So Bobby Digital brings up a good point here. How come no one talks about the Three Arrows capital liquidation and or bankruptcy? Are they on the run cooperating? Does anyone know? I honestly don't know. From what I've heard is that they're not on the run, but I don't know. Liquid, do you have any insight on that?
So I always try to look up what they're doing. I look up the bankruptcy case. I look up all kinds of stuff with it. I never really can find anything. Once this whole case is going to be done, I'm going to get more into that, because that's going to be, we're going to be, I think there's 4 unsecured creditors of the committee for that bankruptcy, and Voyager is one of them. So they're going to go after anything that they can go after, and hopefully, because there's going to be a trust that's going to be formed, and then that the 30% haircut we're taking or whatever it is, that money could maybe come from that to pay us back. So there's got to be something left there. I heard that there's a trading desk overseas somewhere, and I don't even they're going to try to pierce. They call it piercing the corporate veil. So I don't even know if they're going to be able to get to it. But if there's fraud, maybe they can get to it. But there's got to be some kind of money. It just can't vanish.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you even see the article where they went out and bought like a $50 million yacht? Or they were ordering one or something like that, and then they realized that they were going bankrupt. Oh my gosh, what a disaster!
Yeah, they're moving $50 million in different kids' names. I've seen all that kind of stuff. Though I think the one wife is has a claim against the estate. All kinds of nonsense.
Aaron says, I don't see how they are paying people in USDC if USDC holders are getting paid out in USD. Makes no sense to me. Any idea on that one?
So what is it again now? Say it one more time.
So basically, Aaron says, how are they going to pay people in USDC if USDC holders are getting paid out in USD?
I think everybody is going to be – the USD, I think, would be later on if there's any residual money that comes in. I want to say the USDC I don't know if does FTX even support USDC? I think they might.
I think they do.
Yeah, so that's a little confusing, but in the long run, it's going to be the same no matter what you do. It really doesn't matter, because you could push a button and convert your USDC right to USD, and it's 1-for-1. There's no tax event or anything.
Yeah,
so really,
exactly
it is confusing, but it really don't matter.
Yeah. So Aaron says I got 75K in USDC. Says I'm getting all cash, which is basically the same thing. Either way.
Yeah, and then you what's good about it, you could take your haircut and then hopefully write it off against some other gains down the road one day.
Exactly right. So, James C., we appreciate you being with us, buddy. Got a new guy on the channel, Liquid, absolutely killing it over on his channel as well. Got a decent amount of people looking at us in the chat here and watching us here. So, pretty solid. People must like you, Liquid. A couple things that I did want to ask you too. Sure. What do you think going forward? Do you think that this could have any impact, because you're going to have 1.3 billion in assets going out to people on the markets at all?
I want to say hopefully, I think they said 70% is going to be in kind. So hopefully those people won't sell. And I guess all the little percentages, if they cash them out, I wouldn't be surprised if FTX cashes you out with their own money and then keeps all the stuff. And then when everything runs up, you know how they deal. So I wouldn't be, hopefully there's no dump on the market, but it could be possibly happen.
So I'm going to ask you, not personal, but a little bit more. What's your plan with when you do get switched over to FTX and you make that account? Are you going to keep it on FTX, or are you going to take it and put it on a different account, or would you rather not say? Just curious as to where your mindset is there.
So if they end up, so my main, one of my main cryptos on there isn't supported. If they end up supporting my crypto, I'm probably, so my situation's different because I'm going to cash it out, not cash it out, but I will withdraw it because my certain crypto I'll just tell you it's CKB. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to store that on a ledger and I can actually earn interest on their DAO. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd be able to get say 3% and without any worries, and I would self custody. But I want to say they move my crypto over. Um, I don't know. Maybe I would leave it on there. They are paying interest, but
Yeah.
I would advise most people if they give you that $50 credit, use it to buy a ledger, like a ledger or something like that, and then do self custody.
Yeah, absolutely. Great call there. Absolutely. Kevin says, if it does get approved, how soon can we see our money back into our accounts? I think I read somewhere like December 6th or December 16th is like the final closing date. Like everything's ready to roll. And then it's kind of just a click of a button from there. But I don't know an exact date. That's all I've been seeing as of late.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think there's a confirmation hearing. I forget what day it is, but it's around the 5th or the 6th. And then
Yeah.
that's the day when they're going to try to get this whole plan approved. And there'll be objections to the plan, and then they'll have to go back and rework, last minute hour, the not, the 12th hour, they'll have to refix some stuff. But probably a couple days after, they'll probably start, moving everybody over, and hopefully there'll be a ton of more coins supported at the time.
Yeah, absolutely, because they do have time. And I don't know if you caught the judge, who the judge actually wrote this in for us, which I thought was pretty cool, is that FTX didn't actually want Voyager to be able to take any more bids because of that watchtower or
Yep.
whatever was still making bids. The judge is like, absolutely not. In bankruptcy, you need to be able to take bids up until the last second, because if a phenomenal bid comes in, you need to be able to hear it and you need to be able to get it to your creditors so then everybody can get paid back even a little bit more. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Exactly, and what kind of aggravates me is the UCC didn't want to even hear about it. But like I'm not, maybe they didn't. I don't want to speak on them. Maybe they did complain about it, but the problem is this bidding process, this auction. I was very disappointed. I was thinking there was going to be somebody coming in there with a couple $1 billion that wanted to just. You got E-Trade, you got Ameritrade. Everybody wants to get involved in crypto. It was an easy way to get involved. You got millions of customers. You're basically paying dirt cheap for them. I think FTX pays $150 per customer, an advertisement, and I think they're only spending like $40 for all these Voyager customers that they're going to move over. So you want that kind of clause where maybe Voyager can get a better deal because now you see, hey, it only sold for 51 million. Maybe somebody will say, you know what, let's buy it ourselves. So we want that kind of deal. And I think Cross Tower is looking at it right now, but I don't even know. To be honest with you, I don't know if they even have the money to do it. It might be all talk. They might want their own publicity.
Yeah, that's exactly true, because that's what it seemed like with that with was it Waves? I want to say they were
Yeah,
talking big and doing all this stuff, and then they didn't even go through the proper channels. Even the judge came out. He's like, they didn't even go through the proper channels to even submit a proper bid. So
yeah,
if you can't even get that to get your foot in the door, then obviously we don't want you, because it ain't going to be good down the road then.
yeah. You gotta leave. I think it was like a 10% of your initial bid and all kinds of stuff. And if they're not even doing that, like, what are you even doing? Like,
Yeah.
free publicity basically.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So Cynthia says, please correct me if I was wrong. I am not sure about FTX supporting USDC. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I thought they did, but either way, you will get back USD. You'll get your cash back, and then you can decide to do
Uh,
what you want with it. So I don't think that's a huge hang up either way, right? Because you're not going to get any more USD back than you would USD either way.
if you know what, you broke up, but it's about the USDC again.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't. Like I said, that's a little. I'd have to read over the fine print. I have a little bit of USD that they pay me interest before they shut the platform down. So
Mhm.
I really haven't did that much research. But like I said, it's really a non-event. I wouldn't even worry about it. You could just convert it back and forth. You could send it right to Coinbase, or you could wire it out of FTX and put it right in your bank account.
Yeah, absolutely. So either way, you're going to get the same number back there if it's USDC or if it's not, because we don't even know. I can't remember if they hold it or not. We've been going over so many dang court docs lately. I was like, I can't even remember what one I've read lately. Did you get to that point at all where you were like, what is the last thing I read for Voyager? Because you've been reading them so much.
Yeah, and then it started. It was in the beginning. It was fun. There was like 20 pages, and now you got 200-page documents. And I'm like, I'm just gonna confuse people more and more by reading it. And you know what? If they are paying us in USDC, it's not that bad. You don't want to be paid in UST or whatever it is, Tether, because I
Mm-hmm.
this is a different subject. But I doubt they even have the money to back that coin.
Yep, exactly right. And so they I think they have USDT. I don't think they have USDC is what it looks like it's going on in the chat right now. And again, this is unconfirmed because I'm not looking at it right now. But guys, they could easily convert that over before all this happens. And they probably will. It wouldn't surprise me if they get USDC. It wouldn't surprise me if they get VeChain. It wouldn't surprise me if they get Cardano. So, I mean, it literally said that on like page 87 of 234. Like, hey, we plan to make absolutely some switches. Those are the three big ones I would think they would switch.
And if you looked at all the big shots, like the smart money, like in 2019 or whatever it was, they were holding USDC on the sidelines, just waiting. And then, they just ate up the whole market. And then, everything crashed in 2020. But when these big shots go to cash, a lot of them just sit in USDC. It's one for one. There's no problems. Voyager's problem was they lent it out. That's the problem. But if you own self-custody, the money's in a bank account somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly right. And so, are you going to be, you personally, are you going to be more careful with where you store it if you were to store it on an exchange, or now are you not even messing with it? You're only going straight ledger or straight, cold storage wallet, or what are your plans there?
So my whole deal is, ever since I got involved with crypto, I always went on exchanges. I bought my crypto. I sent it back to my hardware wallet, or I'm a paper guy wallet back in the day. I always make paper wallets. I literally print them out all the time. It looks cool looking. It looks like money, but there's crypto on it. Wow. So I would withdraw. I withdraw my crypto to my wallets, and I would wait 3-4 years, and then one day it goes up, and I send it back to the exchange. I sell it, and I cash out. I never had exposure to the exchanges more than a couple minutes. The problem with Voyager was, for example, my CKB, I could not buy that coin anywhere besides Voyager. Like, it was illegal to buy. Like, I'm sure there was ways to do it, but I would have, like, they didn't support it on Binance or anywhere. So I had to buy it on Voyager. I kind of got stuck there, and I wasn't able to withdraw it. And I was over a year long-term capital gain, so I didn't want to sell it. So I was kind of stuck. But really, this is like a rare event for me. I usually don't ever get caught out with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I mean, and we were so new into crypto. We were the ones who were like, oh my gosh, we got to get our stuff off there, talk about it, never do it, and then boom, July 5th happened, and the rest is history. All right, so that's pretty much. If you guys have anything in the chat or any questions, let us know. But that's pretty much all we've got for today. Is there anything else you want to add, Liquid? Anything else you think we forgot or that you think is that needs to be said?
The only thing I would put out there is, guys, just buy when stuff is boring and then sell it when everything's exciting. And hopefully we could do this again. It was fun.
Absolutely, Liquid. We'd love to have you back on. Hopefully it's better times, and hopefully it's talking about different stuff than Voyager, because I don't know about you, man, but I am over the Voyager talk. I love doing it for the subscribers. I understand how much it's helped our channel a little bit, but at the same time, I'm ready to move on and get back into crypto. I
agree with you 100%. I'm getting tired of it also. I agree with you 100%.
Yep, exactly right. Lee says, as far as taxes, $3,000 tax deduction, is that right? Yeah, you can do about $3,000 a year on losses. Liquid, you agree?
Yeah, unless like I said, like for example, me, I was making my interest. I had the Navigator, so I was getting, 10.5% on my USDC. So I'll be able to hopefully write all that off, because my gains I had for the whole year. But yeah, it's $3,000, carried over how many years? Or if you had some kind of like taxable event, you could kind of offset it.
Well, Liquid, I've got even another question for you here, and I'll answer it first. Is, do you think the market is going to drop again, or it's only going to go up from now? Basically, the bottom's in. I do not think the bottom is in. I think we've still got more pain ahead from a macro perspective and from things that really what I'm hearing is going to happen in 2023 Q1. I just don't think we've hit max pain just quite yet. Liquid, what do you think?
So this is going to be a terrible answer. Well, first off, I still think the stock market, it's hopefully the bottom's in, but the problem with the stock market is everybody's like, oh, my deferred comp is down, my 401k is down. And I want to remind people that the Dow Jones was at 18,000 in 2020. Like, we're almost double where we were. And so there's still a lot of room there. Like, it's scary. And crypto, I've been doing this since 2012, and my honest opinion is it's like throwing a dart at a board. You'll never know. It's all guessing. I don't care about charts. It's all nonsense. It's all guessing.
I absolutely love that answer. I need to hear that from someone who's been in crypto for 10 years, because that's kind of what Joe and I have been leaning towards as well. We're like, is there a button out there that like whoever runs it, if there is, then they just press the button. It's like time to go up today, button pressed. And then like you're on a bull run. I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely the whales that sway the markets, but it's the problem with this market is when I got involved, right now it's saturated. When I got involved, and this is no BS, anything you threw $100 at, you literally had 100 grand in 3 to 4 years. Now you're lucky if you can make double your money. There's still 300-400. Like Voyager was a 700x when I bought it, because it went to almost $7. But that's so hard. But back in the day, anything you bought, you made 100x guaranteed. It was almost a sure thing. But now it's so hard to find that kind of stuff.
So Sports Handicapping Service LLC says, are we getting 72% back to July 5th value of our account? Yes, pretty much. Sure, there is some averages stuff, but what was in your account July 5th? Yes, you'll get about 72% of that back.
Yeah, the best thing that we could hope for is your particular crypto. If you want to just hold the crypto, the best thing you could hope for is your coins go down in value and everybody else's in general is doing better, because you're going to get more cash to actually buy back your coins at a lower price. That's just a long shot, but say you have a coin that's $1 and everything else is kind of went up a lower, you could buy your coin back and then hopefully get more than you had to begin with, plus the tax loss.
Exactly right. So like on our same thing with our V chain. Our V chain was like 7 cents when we bought in. We put a bunch of money in. We had 195,000 V chain to obviously tokens on Voyager. And if we got out of it and get in it in just under 2 cents, we're actually going to get more tokens back with only adding about $300 than we would have beforehand.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you get the tax loss and everything. So certain things it could work out. You almost got to kind of. I've never done this before. You got to actually kind of root for your coins to not do good. It's weird.
Yeah, we need to get it back while stuff is still down, because if stuff starts taking off, then it's going to get a little sketchy.
Yep. And I don't know if you remember in the comments. I don't know how much longer you got, but I was talking about how you could hold crypto. Remember, you guys were mentioning in the video yesterday that the guys that made a lot of money, they basically forgot they had the crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So my strategy with that was, I don't know if you remember, I mentioned in the comments, if you got, it's a little off topic, but I'll just bring it out there.
Go ahead.
If you guys I make paper wallets, and you cost a piece of paper and a printer. You print a paper wallet out and you store your crypto on it. You could put any denomination of crypto on there. So you said you have VeChain?
Yes.
And what is the current price of VeChain? Because I don't follow that one.
It's like 2 cents.
Okay, so you put 1,000 VeChain. That's what's that? Is that $20 or am I wrong? Or is that more?
Yeah,
is that right?
Right around there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you put 1,000 VeChain, and you're like, how am I going to ever hold VeChain if it goes to $10? So if you have all your VeChain in one spot and you're looking at your account, oh my God, I got 200 grand sitting here. Let me sell it. Or you probably would have sold it when it went to 20 grand. But if you divide that VeChain up into, say, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I do this kind of stuff. If you divide that VeChain up into 1,000 wallets and you put 1,000 on each wallet, it's not going to be worth your time and effort to cash those out if they go to, say, $1. Because, hey, what am I going to do here? As it moves up, it's only going to be worth your time if it's worth the money to actually withdraw the wallet. So it kind of makes you hold. I don't know if you're following me or not.
Oh, I'm absolutely following you. That makes total sense, especially for the person who's not actively looking at their crypto or really actively even cares as much about it. That would be a phenomenal idea.
Yeah, so hear me out. So when I first got involved in Bitcoin, say it's $3, my first purchase. You buy 1,000 Bitcoins, it costs you $3 grand. Bitcoin goes to $100. So now you got whatever the numbers is. What is that? 300,000? Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, correct.
Something like. Okay, so now you got 300 grand. You're like, oh my God, let me sell. Boom, you sell out, you're done. And you're like, oh, if I would have held, I would have had $100 million. But imagine if you bought those 1,000 Bitcoins and you put a one Bitcoin on 1,000 wallets. And can you imagine? Now Bitcoin's worth 60 grand. You're going to be running and withdrawing them wallets.
Absolutely.
It's a little. Yeah, I'm getting off topic, but.
No, that's awesome. That's exactly what people need to hear is from somebody who's been in the game for 10 years, because I guarantee you there's probably nobody in this chat, and there might be, to be fair, but there's probably, I mean, what is it? What was the number? 87% of all people in crypto in 2021 and 2022 came in 2020 or 2021. Like, that's a staggering number. Staggering.
Yep. Yeah, they're all new, and they're all new, and and they're like you said, most of them are buying at the high, and then they're kind of so my phone literally will not ring on bear markets. I talk to a lot of people. I help anybody out that needs help. My friends, buddies, anybody I meet, and I
Mhm.
literally will never get like. Sometimes I think did my phone get shut off? But when it's the bull market, 1,000 people are calling me trying to invest. So I'm
That's
like, you
so
guys are just flip it around. Do the opposite. That's all that. If you guys look up contrarian investing, that's all you got to do. Do the opposite.
that is so true. That's even happened with us. Even people in our day-to-day lives are contacting us all the time. When we first started this channel, it was the tippy top of this bull run in November, and then obviously everything started sinking, and everybody was talking to us. We haven't had one person that we talk to now in the last 5 months say a word to us about crypto. I'm like, this is the only time
Yeah.
you should be buying.
Yes, it's so funny, and it's funny. And it sucks. Then it sucks too when you help out people. Like I love helping people out, but I'm like, oh man, when the market's really bad, I'm like, oh man, this poor guy's gonna be pissed off. And I'm like, but what are you gonna do? You try to do the best you can do, but yeah, nobody wants to be bothered when everything's dirt cheap. And I just
Exactly.
what I do is I'll buy a coin. Say I spend a penny on this coin, I'll buy it, and now, well, so for little context, every coin I basically that I ever always negative like 80%. It's crazy. It's always been terrible. And then
Mhm.
I literally average down forever, and then one day I make a ton on it. It's crazy. But you got to stick with it and just keep averaging down.
That's awesome. So, Lee says he's got a question for you. I got cash on the sidelines. Don't want to wait, but Voyager was my platform, my only platform. What is a good low fee platform? I use Qcoin. I really do like Qcoin. I also use Coinbase as well. Liquid, what do you like? What do you use?
Ah, the only I've been I really never was a Coinbase guy. I did used to use it years ago to cash stuff out, but I've been
Mm-hmm.
using it lately because they have a couple of my coins on there. And what you guys, if you're interested in, go to the trading and then go to I think it's called advanced. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
what it is. And
Yep.
there's basically like no $3 fee or all that nonsense. And then you could buy stuff on there. But I do a lot of stuff where I do like it's called simple swap and those kind of deals where I send coins and it converts it for me and then it
Mm-hmm.
goes to my wallets. But like which one did you say the exchange?
I use Qcoin a lot.
Yeah, I've used them before. There's no problems with them. But the main thing, like I was telling you before, I'm only in the on the exchanges very, very, very little, and then I'm usually just in and out when I want to sell or buy, and then I'm always back to like a Ledger Nano or something like or paper wallets.
Exactly right. Yeah, I use a Ledger Nano as well, so it works out pretty well. Except for Voyager
Yep.
has a lot of my stuff, so it doesn't work out as well as I wanted it
Yeah,
to.
we got stuck with that. Them interest rates. I was getting 10.5 on USDC. It was pretty hard to not have that money in there. Luckily, I moved all my USDC out. Like I said, a month before, I was just by luck, not luck, but I just got a little nervous reading all these articles, so that worked out for me. But yeah, it definitely sucks on Voyager right now.
Absolutely. So I've got one more question for us here
Sure.
is it better to DCA in 4 coins every month or save up a small lump sum and then put it into 4 coins? In my opinion, Kevin, it is depending on the time and how much you like one project and how much you have to invest. So it's to each their own in that. For me lately, I'm only saving up to put lump sums in. I actually don't DCA during this bottom of this bear market because I'm looking to really start establishing certain positions in certain projects at certain prices. So that's kind of my answer. Liquid, what's your answer on that?
Like you said, it's everybody does their own thing to each their own. But what I do is, like, say I'm buying 5 different coins, and I'm buying it every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
On whatever coin is down whatever coin is not up that day, that's the one I'm probably going to buy into.
Yep.
I hate buying them when they're up for the day.
So you do the most simple thing in the world. You're buying on red days and you're selling on green days.
Yep, and it's always long term capital gains, guys. That's very important. Your taxes.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. All right, man. Well, I think we've got to everything. I actually have to train a client here in about 3 minutes, so I've got to get going. But Liquid, we appreciate you coming on, man. We have got to get you back on. I'm glad I found your channel. You have absolutely killed it. You've helped out a lot of people through this Voyager and given them a platform to at least talk on, kind of like we have as well. So it was great having you on. We're going to absolutely do this again. Everybody go follow Liquid's channel. The link to his channel is in the description below. If you guys have questions for us, let us know. You can also go to his platform and let Liquid know. Other than that, man, that's all we got. Liquid, any lasting thoughts?
No, man, it's been a pleasure, and I really appreciate it. And just hopefully everybody just hang in there. Hopefully we have better days.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. So we do appreciate you rocking with the fittest crypto channel on YouTube, and we are out.